lecture. So section 24 this deals with denaturing of goods. I'm adding some words for assessment. These words are not the part of the title of the section. I have added denaturing of the goods. But for what? For assessment of duty. And denaturing means what? This is change of nature. Or in other words, you can say change of classification of the goods. So unless the characteristics are changed, we cannot change the classification. Unless characteristics are changed, utility is changed, classification cannot change. So this section becomes applicable only where one article is classifiable into multiple headings and different rates of duties are applicable. And the basic principle is where multiple rates of duties are applicable, duty should be chargeable actually at the highest rate given there. So this section is an exception to that, right? So general rule. What is the general rule? Mutilation is, you can say, partly holding, those are useless. General rule is if goods are subject to various rates of duties, Now, how it is possible same article is subject to different types of duties? This is because the article is classifiable under the multiple headings. Okay. So if goods are subject to various rates of duties, the duty is payable at highest rate. Duty is payable at the highest rate. Now, exception is section 24. This is section 24. So under section 24, the government is having the right to make the rules for denaturing of certain goods. So the provisions are applicable only in relation to the goods which are prescribed in the rules, not for all the goods. So applicability this is only for goods specified in the rules. And rules are always framed by central government. And basically, these rules provide for alcohol, or you can call it a spirit. Alcohol or spirit. Why it is so? Because this is classifiable under the three headings, that is industrial, then medical, then portable, that is consumable by the human being. And all three attract different rates of duties. Only, for example, if industrial alcohol is subject to 15% of rate of duty, this is subject to 20% rate of duty, this is 150%. So if there is a pure alcohol, it can be used for any of the purposes. Accordingly, the duty will become payable at the highest rate, that is 150%. But if that has been imported for medical purposes, what to do? Why he should end up paying the duty at the rate of 150% instead of 20%? Or if he wants to use it for industrial purpose, why he should end up paying the duty 10 times of this actual rate applicable for industrial alcohol? So these are the rules framed under section 24, which authorize denaturing of the imported goods. Now, denaturing of imported goods, that is related only to these goods, and these goods are either alcohol or that is also referred as spirit, right? So those who have seen pure spirit, they know that it is colorless. But what is available in the market generally, that is slightly bluish in color or pinkish in color. So some substances added therein. So it is not pure spirit or pure alcohol. Okay. So section 24 says, if such a situation is there, in that case, the importer can make an application. The can make an application. Means this is possible only on the basis of application. This is not automatic. If the importer doesn't apply, it will not be applicable. So the importer can make an application for denaturing of goods. Which goods are these? This is alcohol or spirit, nothing else. On such application, the officer mixes prescribed substance in a prescribed quantity. Importer makes an application, and on the basis of application, the officer is going to mix up some material. What is that material? That is not for a common man to know. And the prescribed material in the prescribed quantity, and depending upon the quantity which is imported. Okay. After such mixing, the goods are not capable of certain uses. Now imagine that pure alcohol is capable of this use, and some material is mixed therein, and it is no more capable of being used as a potable alcohol. Then what happens? How much duty will be payable? Higher of the two, that is 20% duty is payable, right? Or something is mixed by which it is not capable of these two uses. Then what happens? Only 15% duty will be payable, right? So after such mixing, the goods are not capable of certain uses. So goods will be classified as if denatured goods have been imported. So write the next point. After the mixing of the substance, the duty will be assessed as if denatured goods have been imported. As if denatured goods have been imported. Now we'll go to section 24. See here. Who is exercising the powers under section 24? Since this is the power to make rules, the rules are always made by central government. Under the entire act, rules are framed by central government only. For permitting at the request of the owner. So who's making the request? The owner. The denaturing or mutilation of the imported goods. Mutilation is partially that is destroyed or partially that is damaged. Imported goods which are ordinarily used for more than one purpose, so as to render them unfit for one or more of such uses. And where the goods are so denatured or mutilated, they shall be chargeable to duty at such a rate as would be applicable if the goods had been imported in the denatured or mutilated form. So I have given you more simplified language that the imported goods are capable of multiple uses, subject to different rates of duty. As a general rule, highest duty is payable, but this section is an exception, and this section authorizes denaturing of the goods. So this section does not apply for the goods which are not there in the rules, and rules are only for alcohol and spirit. So the owner of the goods can make an application to the officer for denaturing, and the officer has to oblige. There is no discretion of the officer whether he can do that or not. Okay. So after denaturing, the goods are not capable of certain uses. It means some uses are eliminated, so duty will be applicable on the balance characteristic of the goods. And then the assessment is done as if denatured goods have been imported. Now here itself you can understand another point, that the assessment of the goods is based on the nature of the goods at the time of import. There are some goods which keep on changing naturally after the import. So assessment should be done on the basis of nature of the goods, or you can say classification of the goods at the time of import. That is a general rule. But section 24 is an exception to that. Okay. So this is called denaturing of the goods. I hope it is clear to all. Confirm me quickly.
सर
बोलिए
सर, ये क्यों करते हैं, मींस डीनेचर फॉर दिस, व्हाट इज द पर्पस?
ये एग्जांपल यहाँ लिखा हुआ है,
वो समझा। हाँ,
प्योर अल्कोहल 3 अलग अलग पर्पस, 3 अलग अलग रेट ऑफ ड्यूटीज एप्लीकेबल है,
राइट,
है ना? अगर आप डीनेचर नहीं करते तो हाईएस्ट रेट पर ड्यूटी पे करना पड़ेगा,
राइट?
बट you being a pharma company, you have imported only for the medicinal purpose.
Okay.
Why you should end up paying 150% duty on that?
But they are adding something, you said, which will not.
So that it will no more be portable. Okay.
Okay.
So it is not consumable as a alcohol.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Then it will be treated as for medical grade. So duty is payable as if it is medical grade alcohol imported.
Okay.
Okay. So this doesn't apply on other things. Now imagine that some of the goods are imported, those are lying at the port, and because of some reason, there is a change of the nature. Okay. Now see, for example, eggs imported.
Yeah.
Those are lying at the port, and the eggs are hatching. Now you have the chicken.
Okay.
Duty should be payable on eggs, or duty should be payable on the chickens?
Chicken and egg situation, sir.
So the general rule is the duty is payable depending upon the nature at the time of import. So that will be on eggs, not on hatched eggs, or not on the chickens.
Okay.
Okay, but this is an exception,
Mhm.
and this is purely a choice of the owner of the goods. Nobody else will have a choice.
Right.
Yes, Siddhi.
Sir, the customs take care of denaturing it, or they order the importer to do so?
It will be done by the customs.
Okay.
Okay, but on the request of owner. Now see the language. Who's saying? At the request of the owner of, right? So owner is only requesting. He himself cannot do the denature. Okay. Now coming to section 25. This section, in any case, we have done earlier as well. And now it's a quick revision of section 25. This is power of the central government to grant exemptions. So under subsection 1, the exemption is granted by way of notification. Under subsection 2, this is granted by way of a special order. Okay. And then comes adding of a clarification. So this is about that. Adding of a clarification within a period of 1 year, and that will have effect as if it was a part of original order or notification. Okay. And here also we have a general exemption. General exemption comes here. No duty shall be collected if the amount of the duty leviable is equal to or less than rupees 100. So general exemption, so whether import or export doesn't make a difference if the amount of duty is not more than 100 rupees on the consignment. No duty shall be chargeable on that. That is a general exemption. So that's how the things imported by post or courier or your small parcels or gift items, those are directly delivered at home without any interference. So the amount of the duty chargeable on those is not more than rupees 100.